In this video, we're going to have a look at Acos, what it is, what it means, and how to utilize it in your advertising campaigns. So Acos is a little number that you can see on your Amazon Ads dashboard. It stands for Advertising Cost of Sales, and it can be really confusing, especially for beginners. In fact, I asked the YouTube community if Acos confused them when they first got going, and these were the results. Now, only 15% of people understood Acos, what it meant, how to utilize it when they first got going. That is a really low number. And Acos is probably the most important metric that you will see inside your Amazon Ads dashboard. To get going, let's jump over to Amazon and see what they say about Acos. Here they say that Acos is a metric used to measure Amazon pay-per-click advertising campaigns. It compares the amount spent on your campaigns to the amount earned, and it helps determine if your brand-generated campaigns were cost efficient. And finally here it says Amazon Acos helps measure the performance of sponsored product ads on Amazon. Now yes it does, but if you don't know how to utilize Acos, this can be a really confusing and in fact quite a dangerous metric. So why might this be dangerous? Amazon utilize the total price of your book when they figure out the Acos. So if your book cost $10 and you spent $10 to sell one of your books, the Acos would be 100%. The way that Acos is worked out on Amazon is your ad spend to get a sale divided by the price of your book times by 100. So if your book costs $10 and you spend $10 to get a sale, your Acos is going to be 100%. But obviously you don't get all of the money from the sale of your book, you only get a small fraction of it. And this is why Acos can be a dangerous metric if you don't understand it properly. So let me paint you a little scenario. You just sold your first book on Amazon, you're really excited. You've sold a few copies to your friends and your family, but now it's reached that point where it's not really selling as many as you expected. So you watch some YouTube videos, you look into it and you start some Amazon ads. To get going, you do some research, you watch some videos, you set up your first Amazon ads campaign and you get a sale. You look at your Acos and you see that you're running at an 80% Acos. The first thing that you might think to yourself is great, I've made a sale, it's profitable, and that means for every $8 that I'm spending, I'm getting $10 in sales. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. And let's say you don't really know what you're doing. You keep this ad going, and it won't be until the end of the month when you've spent tens or hundreds of dollars that you realise you're actually operating at a loss on these ads. And that's why, especially for first-time publishers, Acos can be really confusing. But don't worry, I'm going to tell you how you can put your Acos to good use. So if Acos takes the price of your book into consideration, rather than your royalties, how do we know what a good Acos is? That completely depends on the price of your book. For some people, an Acos of 50% might be profitable. For others, an Acos of 5% might be profitable. What we need to do is work out what our break-even Acos is for our books. This is also known as a return on your ad spend, which is abbreviated to ROAS. But to keep things simple, we'll refer to it as our break-even Acos. Now to work out our Acos, we took our ad spend, divided it by the price of the book and times it by 100. To work out our break-even Acos, all I need to do is divide the royalty by the price of the book and then times it by 100. Let's go into my Amazon bookshelf and I'm going to show you how to work this out. I've gone onto my bookshelf, I've clicked on my book and I've gone to the rights and pricing section. Now, you'll need to figure out your Acos for each marketplace because the royalty figure will be different. So let's have a look at the Acos for this book in the US. It's priced at $7.99, the printing costs are $2.84, and Amazon are giving me a 60% royalty on the rest of the figure. So that means that my royalty on this $7.99 book is actually $1.95. So if I get the calculator up, so for this book I'll get a $1.95 royalty. I'll divide it by $7.99, which is the price of the book, and then times it by 100. So my US break-even ACOS for this book would be 24.4%. Now that means that it's a lot more challenging to sell your books using Amazon ads at a break-even or less ACOS. I don't know about you, but when I've been running ad campaigns, achieving a 24% ACOS is really, really difficult. So obviously it depends on your genre, your niche, your book, but a lot of ACOS are higher than 24%. The majority are probably nearer to 40 or 50%, but that obviously depends on the book, your ads, the genre, the niche, etc. Now there are ways that we can increase our break-even ACOS. The simplest way would be to increase the price of our book. So if we increased the price of our book to $8.99, our royalty increases to $2.55. Going back to the calculator, if we divide $2.55 by $8.99 and times that by 100, our break-even ACOS is now 28.36%. So adding $1 onto the price of the book has increased our break-even ACOS by roughly around 4%. So it's still a very low figure. Let's say I increased it to $15. Now we get a 6.16 royalty. And if we manage to sell our book at a $15 price point, our break-even ACOS would be a massive 41%. So why don't we all just price our books at $15? Well, the answer is the competition are pricing theirs at way less. So for this book to be competitive and actually to sell, it needs to be around $7.99. If I priced it at $9.99, I just wouldn't get any organic sales. And so it stays at $7.99 and I need to live with that very low ACOS. Let's pop into my Amazon ads dashboard where we can see the ACOS for August. Now looking here, I've achieved 82 orders at an ACOS of 55.67%. However, without knowing the break-even ACOS of my book, I have no idea of knowing how profitable or not profitable that is. But one thing I can say is that is definitely not profitable overall. If we scroll down here to some of my campaigns, you can see some of my ACOS are between 40 and 60%. But then down here, we actually have some which are below the break-even ACOS. And they're the ones that you want to keep going for the long term. So now we know what our break-even ACOS is, here's a great tip to utilize in your Amazon ads dashboard. When you're naming a campaign, I would add the ACOS at the end. So the ACOS for this book is 24.4%. So now when I look at the performance of this ad, we can see that we've got a 27.64% ACOS, but the break-even ACOS is actually 24%. So this ad has been losing money, but to be honest, it's not that bad. It's almost break-even. There are additional benefits to selling your book through ads, such as ranking for keywords, increasing your organic sales. So you shouldn't be solely focused on a profitable ACOS, but it is really, really important to know what your break-even ACOS is for your books, and making sure that you're not wasting a ton of money at a really bad return on investment. So for your ongoing ads especially, you want to make sure that they are near or below your break-even ACOS. So you need to take all of this into consideration when you're making your Amazon ads. Here's a really good example of the first 3 months of a launch of a book. Overall on this, I've sold 11 copies, spent almost $70, and the ACOS is 71%. You can see in the first month, the ACOS was over 100% because I was trying to get my book ranking and I had high bids. In the second month, I optimized my ads and lowered the bids slightly. And so you can see that blue line, the ACOS dropped there to about 50%. And then in the third month, the orders have gone down, but so has the ACOS. The ACOS now is below 20%, which means that these ads are now profitable and below the break-even ACOS. I'm going to go into much more detail about Amazon ads and especially around the launch strategy and optimizing your keywords and all of that stuff very, very soon. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and stay tuned to the channel. But now going back to ACOS, I hope that this video has helped you realize what the ACOS is and how to utilize it for your Amazon ads dashboard. So for each book, you need to work out the break-even Acos. And then my advice would be to add that in your Amazon campaign name. So when you're reviewing your ads, you can easily see what's making you money, what's losing you money, and what you might need to optimize and tweak to make your ads more profitable. Now, one final thing to mention is, should you be solely focused on your Acos? The answer is no, but it does come with a little bit of an asterisk. So when you launch your book, it is quite important to get some sales on Amazon to kick the algorithm off, to start ranking for certain keywords, and then to bring in your organic sales. So when you first launch your book, you can afford to run at a higher Acos, but then over the long term, obviously you want to be making money on your books. So my strategy would always be start at a higher Acos, and then over time bring that Acos down until the Acos is below that break-even number. Now, the sad thing about Amazon KDP is some of your ads will never hit that break-even number. So what do you do to those ads? You either continue to lower the bids, which means they might not serve, or you turn them off. Because at the end of the day, if your ongoing ads aren't beneath that break-even Acos, you're basically paying people to buy your book, and Amazon are the ones profiting both on your ad spend and then also on the sale of the book. Meaning that you're just filling Amazon's pockets. To summarize, Acos is the advertising cost of sales. It tells you the return on ad spend against the full price of the book. But as mentioned, we need to work out the break-even Acos. That is the key number that you need to know for your book sales. And that's how you're going to know whether your ads are profitable or not. Okay, I hope this video is useful and that you feel a little bit more comfortable now with Acos. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.